everybody. Thank you so much for coming out and listening to us speak today. So as you know, we're here to chat with you about social media, ways that you can use it in your everyday life. But first, you're probably wondering, who are we? Who are these ladies who are up here? So we'll take a minute and introduce ourselves. My name's Carolyn Penarts.
And I'm Verna.
And we are both from Philadelphia. And we work for a company called Lending, and we are Monarch Lending's advertising and PR agency. So if you've seen the TV commercials about Monarch Lending, or if you've seen any of the newer ads in the paper or the new website, our company created that for you guys. So that's what we do. And Emily and I specifically work in public relations, so what we do is we like to inform the local news media, the Naperville Sun, the local TV stations about what's happening here to try to get news coverage community, because there's so much going on, there's so much, so many great things that you guys are doing, and our job is to let everyone know what's going on here through that type of work. Just want to call to your attention the photos you see here of us. These are actually our Facebook profile photos, so we're going to be talking quite a bit about Facebook today. So you're going to see these photos throughout the presentation. And then later on, after this presentation, when you guys are all experts on Facebook and you want to find us, this is what you'll be looking for, so you should look familiar to going down the road. Before we go into everything, I just have a few questions I want to ask everyone. How many people have a computer in their apartment? How many people are using email? Everyone's on email. How many people are on Facebook right now? Wow, a lot of people are on Facebook. Oh, great. So that's great, because we're going to talk about a few different social media services today, and you will definitely need a computer to use any of them. You could all have them in your apartments, which is great, but if you didn't, you could always use the computers here. For some of them, you're going to need an email address, so you're already all on the same page with that. And we are going to first talk about Facebook. So some of you are already using it. You may already know some of the information we're going to share. This might be a refresher, and for some of you, this may be brand new. Also wanted to just let you know that if we say any phrases or terms that you're not familiar with and you want to stop and you have questions, please jump in at any time. This is an open dialogue with you. We're here to teach you and to answer any questions that you have along the way. So please stop us at any time, and we're happy to answer anything. So with that being said, what is social media? I'm sure a lot of us, I know I've asked myself this in the past, have anybody ever seen one of these images before, all these different icons? Looks a little confusing, what is all that? To be honest, I don't even know what all these images are, what they all represent, but basically there are so many different social media services out there right now online. They do different things, they function a little bit differently, they exist for different reasons. But really, what it all boils down to, what social media is all about, is social media is all about relationships. It's all about forming relationships with people who share like interests as you, and it's all about helping you maintain relationships that you already have with friends and family in today's world, where we're not always living next door to our kids and our grandkids, and we rely a little bit more on the internet and certain technologies to help us stay in touch with people. So everything comes back to this relationship idea and staying connected and sharing information between us and others, and getting information from others to ourselves. So we want to go into a few examples of why you might want to use social media. And as I mentioned, staying connected. That connectedness is really the #1 reason why people find themselves on these sites and using these services. So these photos are of my niece, who is really cute, love her. And these photos were taken at Easter of last year. So she lives about an hour away from me. I don't get to see her as much as I'd like to, but my stepmom constantly posts photos of her on Facebook, so I get to log on and see pictures of her on a regular basis and kind of see how she's growing and see what dress she wore last Sunday, and I just feel much closer to her because I get to see her in that way on a regular basis, and I don't have to wait for someone to mail me a photograph or for someone to remember to email me something. It's my stepmom's posting and sharing this information, and I'm on the receiving end and I'm viewing it at my leisure. So social media is a really great way that people can stay connected with each other. Another reason people use social media is to stay informed. We're not going to go into Twitter today. That's going to be for another seminar. However, I did want to just show you, this is a sample of my personal Twitter feed. I follow a lot of different news outlets like the New York Times, the Huffington Post, WHYY, that's a local Philadelphia radio station. And basically when I log on to my Twitter, I just see the day's headlines from all those different media outlets, and I can be informed of what's going on in the world around me. Of course, these are just headlines and snapshots, but I can then go into an article and read the whole story and see what's happening. So social media is another way that we can just be informed of what's going on in our world. You can also use social media to follow politics. This is an example of President Obama's Facebook page. So just like you might watch a press conference on television or read an article in the newspaper, you can even go to President Obama's Facebook page to get information about his campaign, upcoming appearances that he's going to be doing, his stance on different issues. All that information is available to you through social media. What's interesting about President Obama is that when he was running for president in 2008, he and his campaign group, they used social media to energize the younger voting audience and to really engage and connect with those people. And someone argued that that even helped him win the election, as he was able to really get the young voters behind him. So that played a large part in his campaign. But many politicians are on using social media. It's not just President Obama. You could really catch up on any politician that you'd be interested in learning more about. And finally, there's a number of fun and entertaining ways you can use social media. You can even use it to learn to play a musical instrument. This is a YouTube video of a woman who's teaching people how to play slide guitar. We're going to talk about YouTube in detail a little bit later on, but just wanted to call that out, that you can even learn a new instrument using social media services. And as you guys all have computers in your own apartments, you can do it from the privacy of your own home. You don't have to go out, you don't have to sign up for music lessons. You can really bring a lot of this interaction right to your own home, which is exciting. So today we're not going to cover everything out there in the social space because there is so much, but we're going to focus on 3 different areas of social media. We're going to tell you how you can connect with your friends and family using Facebook. We're going to show you how you can watch classic movies using YouTube. And we're also going to show you how you can even video chat with your grandkids using a service called Skype. So let's start with Facebook. How many people, some people are on Facebook. Everyone's heard of Facebook, I'm guessing. It's pretty, which seems like a lot, but we'll talk a little bit more about friendship later. The word friend is kind of a loose term. It's almost like an acquaintance or someone that you kind of know. It doesn't mean that you're someone's best friend. The average user also visits the site 40 times a month, so they're on it every day, multiple times per day in many cases, and they spend about 6.5 hours each month just on Facebook, seeing what's going on with their friends, with their family members. Of those 800 million active users, about 4.6% of them are over the age of 55. So that's 36.8 million people over the age of 55 who are on Facebook as active users. That number has actually been growing over recent years. You used to have a college email address to even sign up for the service. It's been open up to everyone for several years now, and that particular demographic has been a growing group on Facebook. So just wanted to call that out. Thought that was interesting. Also want to remind you that Facebook is completely free to use. It does not cost anything at all. And it may be new to some of you, but the more you use it, the more you practice with it, it's so easy to use over time. It may be new now, but the more you practice, the easier it will become to use. And you can really make it part of your everyday life as a way to keep up with people. Does anyone have any questions about Facebook? All right. We're going to take you through the step-by-step process of how you can sign up to use Facebook and how you can build your Facebook profile and interact and find friends and interact with them on the site. So I'm going to go through several different steps. Again, please jump in at any time if you have questions about anything, because this is going to maybe get a little bit technical. But the first step in signing up for Facebook is going to www.facebook.com. That's the main website for Facebook. And as you go to that website, a screen will pop up that looks just like this. We've included a lot of screenshots in here so that when you're going to do this later in your apartments, it'll all look familiar in just the scope of the site. Facebook has 800 million active users worldwide. It is the largest social networking site. That's huge. That's more than the population of most countries. The average user has 130 friends, and you'll know that you're on the right path. So as you go to sign up, you'll see that on the right-hand side of the page it says sign up with several different areas of information that Facebook is going to ask you for. This is the only information that Facebook is going to require that you give them in order to sign up, and there's a reason that they ask for all of this, and I'll go into that in detail. Later on, as you're adding information to your profile about yourself, all of that is completely optional. You don't have to tell them where you grew up. You don't have to tell them your favorite sports team. You can. We'll get into that. But I do want to let you know that you will need to share this information, and this is the only information that is going to be required for you to share. So they're going to ask you for your first and your last name, because this is a place where people find each other and find their friends and family, and how's someone going to find you unless you have given them your name. They're also going to ask you for an email address, and everyone here is already using email, so you can use that same email address. You don't have to create a new email for Facebook, just use whatever you already use. The reason Facebook asks for that is because that's their primary way of keeping in contact with their users. They will send notifications to you via email that tell you when someone has added you as a friend or when someone's interacted with you. So that's just their way of letting you know what's happening on your profile. They'll ask you to enter your email twice just to make sure that there aren't any typos. And then they will ask you to create a password for your Facebook login. I always make sure when I create a new password for anything that I write it down. I have so many passwords for lots of different things. I'm sure you guys do too. So just make sure you write it down somewhere, because I know I would probably forget it. So that's what they're going to ask you for there. And then they're also going to ask you for your gender and your birthday. They just want you to prove that you're over the age of 13, because they do have age requirements for their users. So once you've gone through and filled out this basic information, you just click the green sign up button, and then you've signed up. And it's going to take you through a couple of different steps to help you set up your profile and find some friends. Any questions about the basic sign up so far? All right. So after you've signed up, Facebook is automatically going to try to help you find friends friends that you know who may already be on Facebook. And they're going to do this by asking if they can asking if you can sign in to your email account so that they can look through your email contacts, see if any of those email addresses are also on Facebook. If you don't want to do that, just click skip this step. It's at the bottom of the page right here. And you can just skip and move on and just start to update your profile without searching for friends via email. However, if you want to, let's say you're using Gmail, you could sign into Gmail. It would search through your contacts. It would let you know so-and-so is on Facebook. Would you like to add them as a friend? And then right then and there, you would have the opportunity to add those people to your friend network. But you can skip it as well. The next information that Facebook is going to ask you is basic network information. So they're going to ask you where you went to high school, the college or university you may have attended, your employer, past employer. Again, like I said earlier, all of this is completely optional. You can share as little or as much as you want to the level that you feel comfortable sharing. It is helpful to share this type of information though, because as people are searching for you, yes, they can find you by name, but if you have a more common name, there may be 3 or 4 or 5 people with the same name. So if you identify where you went to college or where you worked, it just helps people narrow down that search. So there may be 10 Caroline Pennartzes on Facebook, but people that know me know that I live in Philadelphia. So they're not going to friend a Caroline Pennartz out in California because they know that that's not me. So again, you don't have to share all the information. You can skip. You can share. You can fill out one of these forms. You can fill out all 3. And then once you're ready, once you fill this out to your liking, you can click Save and Continue, and Facebook will take you on to the next step, which is setting your profile picture. So we showed you our profile pictures earlier on in the presentation, and as you saw, they weren't even pictures of just us. Mine was a picture of me with my niece. Emily's was a picture of her with her friend. So the photo doesn't have to be, a traditional headshot of, shoulders up of just you. It could be a group shot. It could be a picture of you with your spouse, you with your grandchild. It could even be an older photo. It could be your wedding photo. I've seen people have baby photos on there. So don't feel that it needs to be something that was taken this week and it has to be, just a headshot. It can, but it can really be anything you want it to be. You will need to make sure the picture is on your computer in order to upload it. So you'll see an option over on the right-hand side that says upload a photo from your computer. And there's a number of ways you can get a photo on your computer. You can scan a hard copy in, you could ask someone to email a photo to you, or if you have a digital camera, those photos can go onto your computer. Jason, your IT guy, is really great. I'm sure if you had any questions about photos, he could help you out. You will need to just make sure it's on your computer in order to upload it. There's an option where you can take a photo with your webcam. I'm not going to go into all the details of that. You can skip. If you decide to skip and not upload a photo, you'll just have a silhouette, and that's okay, but it's always nice to have a picture because it makes it a little bit more personal and makes it easier for people to identify you. And once you've uploaded or not uploaded a photo, you click save and continue and move on. I do just want to remind everybody that you don't have to fill out all this information right when you sign up. You can sign up for Facebook and you can revisit it a month later and then fill in information little by little. You can always change this information. You can go back and edit it. You can edit it at a later date. So I just don't want everyone to feel like if I sign up, I have to spend the next hour filling all this information out. It's, you can go back and populate it as you want to do that. So after the 3 basic steps, Facebook is going to ask you to verify your email account. They just want to make sure that when you signed up with your email, that you meant to sign up for Facebook and that was your intention. So you'll see at the top of your screen a yellow bar will appear that says your name, go to your email address to complete the sign up process. There's a box that just says go to your email, so if you click on that, it takes you right into your email address, email inbox for the address that you used when you signed up. You'll see an email from Facebook that just says welcome to Facebook, and you can click a verify button that you are verifying that you signed up. So just a simple verification process, making sure that it wasn't a mistake and that you actually intended to sign up. Does anybody have any questions up to this point about anything at all? We're going to go into populating your profile and adding friends next. So again, please feel free to jump in if you want us to answer any specific questions. So once you've signed up, you verified your email, you've added your photo, you want to add a little bit more you may want to add a little bit more information to your profile. And this is a dummy account I set up for a woman named Catherine Smith. And I said that she worked at the Chicago Tribune, she went to the University of Chicago, she liked some of the local sports teams. I said who some of her favorite entertainers were. And I just added some basic information about her. The way that you can do that is once you've signed up, you'll see as you're on Facebook, there's a button in the top right corner that says Edit Profile. So that's where you go to add information. So after you click on Edit Profile, it'll take you to an area of the site where you can add different levels of information about yourself. And they're all listed over here on the left side. So we have 2 rules of thumb for adding information about yourself or posting any type of information to Facebook. Number 1, we've already said, is add as little or as much as you want. You're never required to post anything that you don't feel comfortable sharing. And number 2 is don't share anything you wouldn't want your kids or your grandkids to see. Because they're probably on Facebook, and this is a public forum where people interact with each other. So, just understand that people are going to be seeing this and keep that in mind. So this particular page just has basic information. You can post your current city, your hometown. Here it has your birthday. You already typed in your birthday to verify your age, but if you want, you can get rid of the year so people don't have to know your age. Some people, wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable with that. So you can be a little bit anonymous. You could lie about I'm just kidding. You don't have to lie about your age. So you can change that. And then over here, in this on the left-hand side of the page are different areas that you can update info, such as you can even go so far as to talk about your philosophical views. You can type your arts and entertainment interests, sports that you're interested in, other activities that you're involved in. This is really just an opportunity for you to tell the world a little bit more about yourself, so that you create more of a personal connection to this profile that you've created, instead of just being a name with a silhouette next to it. Now you are the whole person that you are in real life, just on Facebook. So once you have filled out as much information as you want to share, at the bottom is a button that says Save Changes, and you just click that, and then that information will be updated to your profile. You can go in and change this at any time, and so if you added all of your hobbies and interests and you decided that you want to take some of them off, or if your tastes have changed over time, or if you just found a new musician that you really like and you want to add that, you can always go in and edit this information by clicking that Edit Profile button in the top right corner of your screen. So that's how you can edit your own profile. So we've gone over how to edit your profile, how to sign up, how to edit your profile, but now that you're on Facebook and you have a profile, the whole point of being here is to interact with other people. So we are going to show you next how you can search for friends and how you can add friends to your Facebook network. At the top of the screen, you'll see a search bar. It's this white box right here. That's going to be at the top of the screen all the time. Whether you're on your profile or if you're looking at somebody else's profile, there's always going to be a search bar. So in that search bar, you can go ahead and type in the name of the individual you are interested in finding on Facebook. It might be a family member, it might be an old college roommate, or maybe someone that you haven't even seen or heard from in 20 years, but you want to see if they're out there. So you go ahead and type their name in, and underneath, a list of all the people whose name matched the name you typed in will show up. I typed in my own name, and I showed up underneath of here, and it'll show the person's photo, if they have one, it'll show their name, and then it'll show their different networks that they joined that we had talked about earlier. So as I said earlier, it is good to state where you went to school or where you're from, because that helps people find you in search. So if there were 5 other Caroline Pennartzes, at least people could know, oh, I know she went to Temple and I know she's from Philly. So it just helps distinguish you from other people who might share your name. So you can type in people's names individually. They will appear. You click on the matches, and then it will take you to their profile page. So this is what my profile looks like to people who I'm not friends with on Facebook. In order for someone to see your complete profile, they have to be your friend. So you have complete control over who gets to see your profile and the information you share. You can also go so far there's a lot of different security settings on Facebook that you can even change what appears on this page, on the general page. You can even block certain people from seeing anything that you post. So you have really total control over who sees what. You're controlling the content you're putting out there, and then you can even control who sees what you put out there. So just want everyone to know that security can be customized depending on what you share with people. So after you found a friend, it's going to take you to their general page. So if you weren't sure if that was the right person, this page might give you a better idea of, oh yeah, that's definitely who I'm looking for. And in the top right corner, you'll see a button that says Add Friend. So if you click that button, what happens then is that Facebook sends a friend request to that person that says, so-and-so has added you as their friend on Facebook. It's basically an invitation to engage in that friendship. It's not automatic. And they have the ability to either accept that or deny that. Because again, Facebook allows you to control who's in your friend network. People can't just automatically be your friend because they want to. It's like in real life, we have to agree to this friendship. So you'll get a notification that someone has requested your friendship, and you can accept or you can deny. So wanted to let you also want to call out that no one's going to know if you're searching for them. So if you search for an old boyfriend or an old girlfriend, they're never going to know that you've done that. Facebook's not going to notify them. Also, if someone asks to be your friend and you deny them, Facebook doesn't give them a notification that you've denied them. Facebook is very conscious of our feelings. So they're not going to tell someone, oh, so-and-so denied your friend request. So you can feel free to add people to your friend network, and you don't have to feel bad that they're going to know if you said no or anything like that. Does anyone have any questions about searching for people or adding friends? Anything at all?
Is there different levels that you can leave your friends in?
Like good friends, not so good friends?
Yeah, girlfriend, place, and boyfriend place.
Well, there are custom, like I said earlier, there's custom privacy settings. So let's say you didn't want your girlfriend from college to see something. You could block content from certain people, but you can't really make groups of people and have different profiles for different groups, if that makes sense. So the way I think of it is, anything that I put on my profile, my friends can see, but if you have a particular friend that you might want to limit further, you can still limit them further, if that makes sense. So, like if you want, like, if you're, let's say for instance, if my mom's not on Facebook, but let's say she friended me and I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I said yes, but I didn't want her to see anything, I could block all my content from her. So. So you can be sneaky.
That's my daughter.
So, well, she was conscious of your feelings, so that's nice. So that's a good thing. So, but I wouldn't do that. I don't care if my mom sees my content. So that's how you can add friends. All right. We're also, so now that you're on and you have friends, you want to see what they're doing. You want to hear their stories, and you want to share your own stories. So we're going to take you through how you can keep up with that network of friends that you've just built in a couple of different ways. So the first thing we're going to talk about is something that Facebook calls the news feed. Basically what that is Facebook is just aggregating all of the most recent activity of your friends into one spot. So when you sign on to Facebook and go to the home screen, you're automatically going to see all of the most recent stories that your friends have posted. So instead of, let's say you have 15 Facebook friends and you want to see what's going on in their lives, instead of going to 15 different profiles, you go to your home screen and Facebook automatically shows you, of those 15 people, what they've been posting. So it's kind of just cutting down on some of the work required to keep up with all these people. So it's going to aggregate status updates that your friends have posted, which are basically just sentences, it's just text words about their day. It also is going to aggregate photos that they've been able to post to their profiles. Facebook users can also interact with each other directly in this newsfeed by commenting on people's posts and by liking them, which is basically Facebook's word for a virtual thumbs up. That's what like is, when you give something a thumbs up on Facebook. So we're going to show you an example of what that looks like. This is my news feed, a sample from a couple days ago, and one of my friends posted a photo of her cat. She said, "My cat is so weird." Her cat's kind of like, it's hard to see, but her cat's like on its back, like in a corner, like in a weird position. So it was kind of a funny picture, and she thought it was cute and wanted to share it with her friends. So down below, if you look at this section of the page, you can see that somebody liked it, and 3 different people commented on it. The way that they did that was by hitting either the like button here or the comment button here, and then they're able to interact and exchange dialogue over that photo that somebody posted. And when people post to Facebook, when they post information about themselves, they're looking for comments and they're looking for likes, because it kind of validates the whole original post to begin with. If you post something and no one says anything, you kind of feel like, oh, I guess no one cared about that. But I'm not saying that everything is going to get a ton of comments and posts. There are many updates that go out there with not any response. But I think generally people are looking for that dialogue. They want to know that their friends are reading and that they care, and that they care enough to actually write back. So I think of likes and comments as like gold on Facebook. That's really what you're aiming for. It just makes you feel good that people are out there and that they care. So this is just an example of how you can see what other people are doing. Facebook automatically does this for you in your newsfeed, and how you can interact with it and comment and kind of share in their stories. But you may also want to look at a particular person's profile because you want to just hone in on that one person. And we're going to show you how you can do that and interact with just one particular person. And that's by posting on their wall. So Facebook, the term wall is obviously a regular word, but Facebook has kind of created a new meaning for it. So every individual Facebook profile has a wall, which is basically a forum where people who are friends with that person can share stories, they can post messages, they can post photos, they can share websites by posting a link. And these are basically what we consider to be public messages, because when I write on someone's wall, if I wrote on Emily's wall, Emily sees that message, but everybody who's also friends with Emily on Facebook can see that message. So even though it's something from me to her, other people have the ability to see it. So that's why we consider that a public message. It goes back to one of our rules: don't post anything you wouldn't want your kids or your grandkids to see, because Facebook is this closed community of Facebook users, but when there's 800 million people in that community, it's almost like being in a public space. So I'm going to show you how you can look at someone's profile and write on their wall. The search bar, again, we pointed this out earlier, is always at the top of your screen. Anytime you want to look at one of your friends' profiles, you can type their name into the search bar and then click on their name from the matches that will show up below. So I looked at Emily's profile, and here she is, cute Emily, and here's her profile. Because I'm friends with her, I will have this area of the page here that says I can write a post or I can add a photo. You can only do this if you're friends with someone. So if you're not friends with someone, you first have to add them as a friend, they have to accept it, and then you're able to communicate in this way. And that's meant to protect people's privacy. You don't want strangers necessarily trying to communicate with you. So it says here, write something. So I could write a message to Emily. I did write a message to Emily earlier today that said, having a great time in Monarch Landing. I hope we get to go back again soon. And when I hit enter, it posts down onto her page so she can see it, and then her other friends can also see it. So that's an example of how you could go to someone's profile as an individual and you can write down a message. You could also add a photo. You could post a photo to their page if you had a photo on your computer that you might want to share with them. That's another option as well. So does anyone have any questions about wall posting or anything like that?
Yes. You do have to be on their page to write something.
On their wall.
On their
That
wall.
is correct. Yes. If you're in their news feed, if you're in the news feed and they have a story, you can still comment on their story. But if you want to write directly on their wall, you have to go to their profile to write on their wall. Does that make sense? Okay. So another way that you can keep up with your network is by something called direct message. This is pretty much Facebook's equivalent of email. You guys already all use email, and I'm not saying you should stop using email. I just want to show you a way that you can send messages to people on Facebook that act similar to email. It's a private message, nobody else can see it, it's just the people that you send it to. You can send a private message to one person, or you can send a message to a group of people at once. You might want to send a message to all of your grandchildren on the same day that says, Happy Halloween, hope you guys have fun trick-or-treating tonight. Well, if your grandchildren are under the age of 13, they wouldn't be on Facebook, but you get the point. So, anyway, a direct message can be done the following way. In the top left-hand side of your page, you'll see a little dialog box, a little icon that looks like a chat dialog box. You click on that, and then you'll see an option that says Send a New Message. So if you click on Send a New Message, a box will appear. And this looks similar to drafting an email. There's an option for two. So you just type in the name of the person or the people you want to send a message to. You're not typing in their email address, you're just typing in their name. And then you type in your message, whatever you want, and then you just hit send. And that goes to that individual's inbox on Facebook. So they'll get a message up here that says that they have a message from whoever sent it. So it's just a nice thing to have. If you're already using email and you already have groups organized on email and you already do that, continue to do that by all means. But this is just another way that you can directly communicate with people through Facebook. Any questions on that? All right. So I want to show you a couple other things. So we told you how you can post on other people's walls and hear their stories and comment on their stories. But you also want to share your stories. It's a two-way street. It's all about relationships and sharing information. So the way that you share information about yourself is through something that Facebook calls the status update. And basically, it's just like you would write on someone else's wall. You're essentially writing on your own wall. So the story you share about yourself gets posted on your own profile, and it also goes into the newsfeed that we talked about earlier for all of your friends. So I'll show you how you can do that. Here's my profile. You've already seen an image that looks just like this. And just like when I went to write on Emily's wall, when I'm doing a status update for myself, it'll say update status or add a photo. And it says, what's on your mind? So I can go ahead in here and I can write, having so much fun at Monarch Landing, the residents are awesome, I really hope I get to visit them again. And that would go to my profile, and then all of my friends would see that in their news feed. And then they could comment on it, and they could like it, and they could, see what's going on in my life. So that's a way that you can allow people to know what's happening with you, just as much as you want to know what's happening with other people. Any questions about that? All right. Couple more things on Facebook. I know this is a lot, but I just want to go through a couple more things. Logging out. So this is particularly important if you're going to be using the computer lab or any type of shared computer. Just make sure you log out at the end of your use. You'll see in the upper right corner it says home, and then there's a little arrow. You click on the arrow, and then you'll see at the very bottom it says log out. And it's just that simple. So just 2 clicks that makes sure that ends your session on Facebook, so that the next person who might use that computer, when they go to facebook.com, they have to log in as themselves, and they can't accidentally be logged in as you automatically, if that makes sense. So just like you would shut down your computer at the end of the day, you would want to log out of this. Any questions?
When you shut your computer down, does it automatically log you out?
No, it wouldn't. And if you, it's not the end of the world if you don't log out, it's really not, but it's just something to get, it's a good habit to have. If you also just X'd out of the internet browser without logging out, it wouldn't automatically log you out. But again, especially if you're on your own personal computer, it's not a huge deal, but we just want to, for people who might be using the computer lab, we just want to let you know. So we talked a lot about how individuals can use Facebook, but businesses also use Facebook for different marketing purposes and business purposes. And we've actually created a Facebook page for Monarch Landing. And this is where we post photos from events that happen at the community. We post news articles about the community. And it's also a place where people who either live here, residents, as well as your family who don't live here can see what's going on. People who are interested in maybe moving here can see what's happening. It's just a way to really show the vibrancy of life at Monarch Landing to people who live here or maybe don't happen to live here. You can also share feedback. You can write on the wall of a business's page just like you can write on the wall for a person. So you can directly interact and share feedback with the community. Emily and I are the ones who are posting content or constantly monitoring it, so you can chat with us through that mechanism as well.
Do you have to be on Facebook yourself to get this?
You do. So I'm going to show you, this is what the Facebook page looks like. So it looks very similar to a person's profile, but it's for a business. The most recent photo we posted was from the Healthy Lifestyle Expo, and there's additional information that just didn't fit on the screen, so some news articles and such. If you wanted to find this on Facebook, just like you searched for a person, you can search for Monarch Landing, and this would show up in the results, and then you could view this. Instead of, because this is not a person, this is a business, you don't add them as a friend, you do something, you like different business pages on Facebook. So you can like this page, and once you like the page, you're able to write on the wall, just like you were able to write on the wall for people. You don't have to like the page, but if you have to like the page if you want to write on the wall. So you can review it no matter what, you don't have to like it. But then if you want to write something, you would have to like the page. Does that make sense? So we just recently launched this. We're going to be continually updating it with photos and information. So I think this is particularly good if you have children or grandchildren who maybe don't get to visit as often as they would like. They can still keep up to date on, oh my gosh, I had no idea that they had so many great activities. I feel really great that my loved one is at Monarch Landing. So I don't know if anyone has any Facebook questions, please let me know. That kind of concludes the Facebook portion. Yes?
Okay, wonder if you have somebody as your friend and you no longer want them, how do you do it?
You can unfriend people.
How?
How can you unfriend them?
Uh-huh.
Are you logged in right now? Do you want me to show you?
No.
Or I can show you a sample. I'll go into Facebook. Getting rid of friends already, I see.
It's probably
I'm kidding. You can unfriend someone at any time. I will show you how to do that. So this is my stepsister, who I love. I'm not gonna unfriend her, but if I wanted to. Anytime you go to someone's profile, you see here it says friends, and at the very bottom,
I see it.
you can click unfriend. You can do that at any time. And I think I had mentioned earlier, you can block people. So if you unfriended someone and then they keep adding you and you just want to get them out of your hair permanently, you can block someone. So there's a lot of different privacy settings that you can customize. Any other questions on Facebook? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Emily. She's going to show you a couple of other cool things, and we can definitely answer more questions at the end if you have any that pop into your head.
Okay, now we're switching gears, and we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube. YouTube is a different type of social media platform, and this allows users to share video content. You can stream live video, or not live, but record video content right from your computer whenever you want. It's a free service, and you can search for various different things. You don't have to sign up. You just go to www.youtube.com, and you can search for things such as exercise videos, cute or funny videos, all different types of TV shows, and even things like classic movies. So this is kittens, and from there, when you click search, YouTube will populate a list of all different types of videos that contain kittens. So we have this one here, it's cat tipping over my water. This one down here is called Kittens Inspired by Kittens, and whichever video you want to watch, you kind of just select it. You can note that in the corner here, it tells you the duration of the video, so you know just how long you're getting yourself into, and you can pick and choose that way too. So some of these are probably cute and they're funny, and you can search for all different kinds of things. So that's your basic video search. Then you can also browse for TV shows. So up here in the corner here, you can select browse, and then you would go to shows. And from there, you can search for all different types of television shows. So maybe there's a show that you used to watch, it's not on anymore, and you want to see an episode. You can usually get some full seasons of older shows that aren't regularly on TV. In terms of shows that are currently playing, usually they don't have the most up-to-date version of the most up-to-date episode, but they might have one or two up there. You can also search by category. So if you want to look for dramas or comedies, you can kind of narrow the search down that way. And once again, these are all free episodes on YouTube. In addition to watching TV episodes, you can browse for movies. So you would go up here to the search bar and you would select movies, and then once again you can select the category which you'd like to search. So we just chose classics, and these are examples of some of the classic movies that YouTube features. And for the most part, a lot of these are free. There are some of them that'll come with a charge, and you would pay with a credit card or PayPal or something like that, or you could stick directly to the free movies. It would be all up to you. And then you would be able to stream the full-length movie right to your computer. So it's a pretty cool feature. In addition, so you can do all these things. You can watch videos and different content, but you can also host content. So one of the things that we did for Monarch Landing is we created what is called a YouTube channel. And a YouTube channel allows users to post their own personal videos. So we created one for the community, and so far we've uploaded all the sales videos that we leveling shot when they were here over the summer. So all the commercials are on there. And then in addition, we'll be taking things that, videos like the camera crew here shoots, and we'll upload that to the site, as well as any events that Sherry might tape. We can also upload them, and you can share them with other individuals. So this is an example of what the Monarch Landing YouTube channel looks like. And over here is a list of all the videos that are currently on the site, and you can go there at any time and watch these. And then you can also share them. So say you have a video that you like that you want to send to your family or friends. Go down here, you click share, and then it would highlight this little address here. that you could copy and paste to an email or whatnot. Or you can click on this little button down here, email, and this will take you to your email server of choice, and you would be able to send it to different contacts. Or you could upload it right to your Facebook page. So if you were to click this, it would connect directly to Facebook, and then it would upload the video on your Facebook wall. So a lot of the social media is all about sharing information, and so they're all very connected, and they allow you to take information that you find and place it on different sites so that you can share it with your friends and your family. I don't think I mentioned the Monarch Landing YouTube address. That's right here, www.youtube.com/monarchretirement. So that would be the direct web address to the Monarch Landing channel. Got it?
No, I don't have it. See it.
So, is there any questions about YouTube? That was a quick little overview. And now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about Skype. So Skype is another internet platform that allows users to have video chats with other people. Has anybody used Skype or on Skype? Okay, so you know a little bit about it. So it's www.skype.com, and this is all done over the internet. And as of September 2011, there were 29 million active users on Skype who use it to communicate. And there are several different things that you can do with Skype. You can video chat one-on-one with individuals. You can also have a video conference, so you can chat with several different people from several different locations. And you can also call landline or mobile phones from your Skype account. Today we're going to focus mostly on video chat. That is one of Skype's free services, and it's also one of Skype's most popular services. So this is an example of what a video chat would look like if you were to have it on your computer. This would be the people that you were Skyping with in the big box, and then down here in the corner would be a picture of what the people on the receiving end are seeing, so that would most likely be you. So some of the benefits of Skype is Skype allows people to have more personal conversations with individuals. So if you have friends or family far away, instead of picking up the phone and calling them, you could actually have a face-to-face conversation with them. And so that's really great if you want to see how much the kids have grown, if they want to show you the grandkids' Halloween costumes, or an art project they did at school today. That's one of the benefits of Skype, is they allow you to have that face-to-face time even if you're not actually sitting next to each other. So these are some of the things that you need to get started. Is you do need a computer that has an internet connection. You also do need an email address to sign up. In addition, you need a camera that can either be built in or externally attached to your computer. And then you would also need a microphone that's either built in or attached to the computer. So once you have all those, you're ready to get started. And you would go to www.skype.com.
What was the last one?
Camera and microphone. So once you get, you type in the web address, this is the home page for Skype. And up here in the corner, there's a little button, and you click that, and that's Join Skype. And that's going to take you to this application page. So this is where you sign up. You do have to provide them some basic information. Your first name and your last name, your email address are all required information to get started. And then down here, they also ask for some additional information. So it's like your birthday, your gender, where you live. This is optional information, but it is good to have. It helps in terms of people want to search for you in the Skype directory if they have some information that'll help narrow the results. So now you have to collect some contacts because you need someone to call once you're on Skype. So the easiest way is to ask friends and family if they have a Skype account. And you tell them, hey, I'm on Skype now, would love to chat with you. Are you on, and what's your Skype name? And then that way they can provide it to you directly, and you can put it onto your account. Another thing you can do is you can search the Skype directory, which houses contact information for all of the active users on Skype. So you can search a person by name, email, or their Skype username. Once you do that, you can invite them to chat. So down here, I just want to call attention, in the corner is the directory button. When you click that, that'll take you to the Skype directory, and that's when you would be able to type somebody's name or email address in and search for them. So once you have a contact, you're ready to make a call, and this is a little dummy setup we have here for James Cooper. And you can see him here, he's over here in our contacts, so we click on him, and then we click video call, and it would put in a call to James, and it's like a telephone call. His computer would actually ring and tell him that somebody is trying to Skype him. So he would need to be sitting in front of the computer in order to receive the call. So sometimes Skype works best if you kind of schedule it and plan, you know, to connect on Sunday at 5 or after dinner or something like that. So you put a call into James, and there's James, and there's little James, and you guys can have a conversation. And it's for however long you'd like, for whatever duration, there's no time limit. And whenever you were finished, you'd click this little red button down here in the corner, and that would disconnect the phone call. The screen would go dark, and that would be the end of that conversation. So, any questions about Skype?
That's great. Skype is great, especially if somebody's out of the country.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because phone calls break up, Skype doesn't break
No,
up
it's-
usually.
Yeah.
Because we had a grandson in India, on
Mhm.
Skype.
Yeah, and you don't have to video chat. Video
Right.
chatting is great, but you can use it as just like a free phone call over the internet. Especially these computers don't have webcams, so you can use it as just kind of a long distance or even international phone service. It's free to use, so it doesn't have to be.
So there's no charge
There's
or
no
anything?
charge.
If you get into more of their advanced features, there is a charge associated with them, but for the basic stuff, there is no charge.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Amazing, amazing.
We know we went through a lot of stuff, but we left our email addresses here, which Sherry's gonna give this to you. So you can contact us if you have questions. I know that Jason is always around and he's really great with everything, so he might be able to help you on site, but, you know, we're accessible via email also.
Thank you.
Thank you
Excellent.
very much.
Good, thank you.